The objective is the same as it was last week, except these are different problems, solving equations using logs. Here's the first example. You have 4e to the 2x plus 2 power minus 9 equals 112. That e is not a variable. You're not solving for e. E is a constant. If you look on your calculator, you have an ln button. If you hit second ln and then put it to the first power, second ln and type 1 and then hit enter, you'll come back with 2.718281828. That is a constant. And we usually abbreviate it to 2.71, 2.72, whatever. But since it's in your calculator, we never round it. But on this problem, you have to solve for x. And to do that, we must get this over to the other side. So leaving this alone, we now have 112, not 111, but 112 plus 9. And simplify that, leaving this alone, to come up with 121. We still need to get the e away from everything else, such as a coefficient or constants. The constants are gone, but now we can divide both sides by 4, like this, and be left with e to the 2x plus 2 power, and that will equal 121 over 4. Do not make that into a decimal or anything else right now. Whenever you have an e, the constant e, you are not going to take a common log of both sides. You're going to take the natural log. So now you need the natural log of e to the 2x plus 2 power, and then the natural log of 121 over 4. Now here is a little shortcut that will be quite useful. If you forget it, these are going to be excruciatingly painful problems. But if you have log natural of e to some power, remember that log natural has a base of what? Log natural has a base of e. So if you have a base of e, and in this case we have a log natural base e of e to the 2x plus 2 power, then think of it as this whole thing being equal to something. Remember the pattern for simplifying these. E to some power is e to the 2x plus 2 power. E to some power is e to the 2x plus 2 power. Well, what power is that? This and this are the same base. Here's the exponent on this one, which means this one must have what exponent? The same exponent, which is 2x plus 2. So if you keep that in mind, you can drop this down to right here, 2x plus 2 equals log natural of 121 divided by 4. Now we have to solve for x. So we're going to keep the 2x on the left and move the 2 to the right hand side and subtract it. And then we have to divide both sides by 2. Of course, it cancels out the 2 on the left, and on the right hand side we divide by 2. So now you have to simplify this. The first thing you should do in your calculator is log natural 121 over 4, right hand parenthesis, hit enter. Get an answer. Leave that answer in the calculator. and subtract 2. Get that answer, and then divide by 2. Round your answer to 4 decimal places. 0.7047. Your first move in solving this problem is to keep 3 to the negative 4x minus 3 power where it's at, and then move the 57 to the right-hand side. Now, when you don't have a base of e anywhere in the problem, you can use a common log, or you can use a natural log, whichever. If you use a common log on this one, first you have to simplify the right-hand side. 3 to the negative 4x minus 3 equals 243. Now you have two options here. One, if you recognize that this is a power of this, then you can do it like we did last week. If not, then you have to do it the way we're doing it this week. So is 243 a power of 3? How many times would you have to multiply 3 to get 243? So 3 to the 5th power is 243. So you have an option of doing that. You can change this into 3 to the 5th power and make this negative 4x minus 3 equals 5. But I'm going to show you this way, because not all of these will work out nice and neat. So if you did a log of both sides, it would look like this. And then you would have to distribute, or not distribute, but first move this to the left-hand side of the log and get the quantity of negative 4x minus 3 times log 3. And then, of course, this will stay the same. Distribute the log 3 to come up with a negative 4x log 3 minus 3 log 3 equals log 243. Move the log term to the other side that has no x in it. So you're going to be left with negative 4x log 3 equals log 243 plus 3 log 3. Okay, but now we still don't have the x by itself. You're going to have to divide the right-hand side by what is attached to the x on the left. And I've made a mark there by mistake. Divide by negative 4 log 3. That's a 243. So in your calculator, you can do this all at once, but you need to type it in like this. There and there, parentheses. Remember, you have parentheses around what you're taking the log of. And then on the bottom, parentheses around that, but remember you have parentheses around what you're taking the log of. Okay, so in the calculator, the quantity of log 243, and then plus 3 log 3. That quantity divided by the quantity of negative 4 log 3. And you should come back with a negative 2, which is what you would have had you recognized that this is a power of this. Anybody have negative 2? This was the right problem, wasn't it? Did you guys do this problem?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, nobody had negative 2. So if you do it this way, you get negative 2. Had you done it this way, then it would have been negative 4x minus 3 equals 5, because this would have been 3 to the 5th. And if you did negative 4x equals 5 plus 3, you would come up with 8, and divide that 8 by a negative 4, still get negative 2. On the practice, we have a base of e in there up against the 5. So we're going to have to use a log natural. But before we can do that, we must get rid of this and this. We can do all of this in one big swoop. E to the negative 2x plus 4 equals 425 plus 12, and then divide by 5. 12. Alright, so let's simplify that and see what we come up with. That would be 437 over 5. So now we need the log natural of both sides. So log natural of e to the negative 2x plus 4, and then log natural of 437 over 5. Now we know in this case over here that log natural has a base of e, and e to some power is going to equal this. That power is negative 2x plus 4. And then on the right hand side, this will stay the same. Now we have to undo these items over here. We must get rid of this and this. And when we do that, we're going to have log natural of 437 over 5. Close the quantity, subtract 4, and divide by negative 2. So in your calculator, do log natural of 437 divided by 5 first. Get an answer by hitting enter. And then subtract 4. Hit enter. And then divide by negative 2. Hit enter. You should come back with negative 0.235 and then 2.